How you doing, everybody? Randy Richard in the shop. Sorry for taking so long with some videos. I caught long COVID and kind of took the wind out of my sails for a little bit. But I'm getting over it. Still got a little runny nose and stuff. But it's it's been like 2 months. It's really kind of not a good thing. My wife gave it to me. So anyway, this came yesterday. This is from Bestarc. I've done some reviews on their other products, and this is supposed to be a TIG welder. And I've done one on their plasma cutter, one on a MIG welder, and I keep them as backup units. Actually, they actually work. I'm not. They give me the welder, but other than that, I do an honest review, whether it works or not, type of thing. If it doesn't, we're going to test it out here. We're going to pull it out, test it out. If it doesn't work, you're going to see it. So far, all the welding units I've tried seem to work. One plasma cutter was kind of questionable. I mean, it worked, but wasn't super great. But it was okay. But as far as the Bestarc products go, I've been happy with them so far. Looks like it's really well-fit box. Corner protectors. So this one is supposed to be 110. Can you see all that? Yeah, 110, 220 volts, ACDC, and that's one reason why I agreed to do it, because it's AC and DC. Some of the other units you might see are lift TIG. This one is supposedly not. So it has a high frequency start, and we're just going to it says here, stick, DC TIG, AC TIG with pulse. Support welding aluminum because it's AC. High frequency arc start, post gas and slope down. IGBT inverter technologies. Foot pedal for welding control, and 2T, 4T torch trigger control. So, and that 2T, 4T thing, pull it, let go, it, starts, stops, right, type of thing, or with the foot pedal, or the MIG gun. The 4T is pull it, let go, and it started, and stays running. Pull it again, let go, and it stops it. So, like if you're using it on a machine or on a plasma cutter or a plasma table or something like that. This is a Rash K Koa handle I made. Actually, I've been carrying it now. It's kind of goopy. I use it quite a bit. This little EDC type blade. Very nice, very comfortable. I made this from a rasp a few months ago. My foam. Manual. Torch with cups and collets inside the cap. Okay, we got ground cable. Gotta have ground cable. Adapter, yeah, 50 amp plug. So this is your 220 to 110 adapter plug, right? We'll look at the ratings in the book here. Stick electrode stinger and a gas hose. Foot pedal. There we go. That makes me happier. I always, I've never been able to get used to the finger type control myself. Okay, so that's foot pedal, and they have a knob here. It says for amperage, so maybe that you can set your maximum amperage probably that way. You don't do it on the machine. 50 or 60 hertz. Duty cycle is 60%. Either voltage, 60% duty cycle. Okay, under one, we'll talk about 110 use first. And output DC is 10 to 160 amps. AC is 10 to 160 amps. Input current. This was an important factor you should know. So TIG welding, DC is 32 amps max. AC is 38 at 40 hertz, and up at 200 hertz it's 42 amps. So you need to know that input current because of where you're going to plug it in, whether you're going to pop breakers or not, that sort of thing. Stick welding, 42 amps input current. So I was doing some practice welds here because I want to learn how to use the machine, and before I kind of film it, right, I was really having difficulties with it, and or my welds. The machine's operating, seems to operate properly and all of that, but my welds are just terrible. And sometimes it'd be okay, and then sometimes it wouldn't be okay. And I don't know if you can see some of these. Anyway, so I tried, I welded a little stainless and all that, but they are not even close to being good. Okay, so the problem is gas, shielding gas. So I played with things, but I'm going to show you. So I decided to open it up. There's something up. Why am I not getting the gas I should be getting? I use the same hose. Now this is I use a little bit longer hose. It's about 12 feet or so long hose. But so I have to maybe crank it up a little bit extra on the gas sometimes, but usually not. The hose, the regulator is all the same that I use in my Lincoln TIG200, and I never have a problem. So it's not that, and so it's something with this, right? And I've tried putting a gas lens in the TIG torch and changing the cup and using a lens, and that didn't really make a difference, so at all. Different electrodes, all that. So it's a gas issue, shielding gas. And so I've taken the cover off of the unit. And right here is the connection for your hose right here. And this is the solenoid valve. And it goes over here and it goes down here. Now, this being all loosey-goosey is not good, but that's not going to stop it from operating like this. This little jam nut here just needs to be held in position and tightened a bit tighter. That's all. That's a minor thing. What I found though is right. Let's see here if I can try to show you. Right here. This is the plastic tube, little Tygon tube. It goes over, but as you can see, if I'm just moving the tube, see how it turns? That fitting's not tight. And that's the gas to the torch, right there. And that's where I'm losing all my gas right here. The torch hooks to this terminal here, and the gas comes through the center of it. It evidently is this loose fitting right here, and we'll get in there and tighten that up. I'll tighten the jam nut up, put it back together. All right, I got the jam nut tight, and you probably can't tell how much narrower. That was barely on there. I turned it over 2 full turns, so that was just, it wasn't even finger tight. It's tight now. And then, like I said, back here on the solenoid valve, there's a jam nut. Takes a 17mm wrench on the nut here, and got it this nice and tight now, so this will not move around. Now you'll need to use. You don't need to make your hose connection super tight. A little bit more than finger tight, but you should use 2 wrenches. So if you use only 1 wrench, you may knock this loose again. But it's nice and tight now. It opens up very easily to if you want to clean it. If you had to clean it out or something like that from dirt. The on-off switch is right here. The back fan. Now the fan air goes in this way. It'd be kind of nice if they had a little filter over that, because the air comes out the front and the sides up here. And down here's the gas connection. And they use the standard hose connections used in welding. I don't know if the designation of it to cinch it. So your ground cable here on the plus side, DIN connectors there. This is the connection for your control location, whether you're using the push button on the torch or if you're using the foot pedal. You plug it in here. So this is your torch connection here, and another standard really hose connection there. And then they have this little strain, well, it's not really a strain relief, but protector for bending, but it has the hex built in, so you can, as you use it as the wrench, make it nice and tight. And we'll use the push button, and that just plugs in there. Little bezel nut there. That's it there, and then we'll plug it in. So after repairing the loose connection on the gas to the torch, everything's hooked up, and we're going to turn it on, and I'm going to run through what all this is to the best of my ability. Okay. So I turned it on, the switch in the back, and so we'll just go through real quick what the controls are. Over here, this is your saving, opening files or programs that you've saved. You can save 10 of them. But I'm not going to talk about any more of that until I get through all this. I'm going to show you how it works. The instruction manual does not cover how this really all works. So I had to figure that out. Go down here. This is your 2T, 4T settings. Now, if you watch videos and everything, and all these new welders seem to do this, have this option, and you could, which is kind of nice if you wanted to TIG something on a rotary table and not have to hold the torch. You had it all set up, and you could use the 4T setting and things like that because it's a continuous on setting. But anyway, 2T is selected right now. This is the selection button. 2T is pull the trigger, hold the trigger, and you're welding. You pull the trigger, start welding. You're welding until you let go of the trigger, and it stops. 4T is pull the trigger to start the welding and let go, and you're continuing to weld. Pull the trigger again and let go. it will stop welding. So pull the trigger, let go, weld, pull the trigger, let go, it stops. That's as simple as you can get on how to understand how that works. It's 2 pulls or 4 or 2 transactions of your finger versus 4 transactions of your finger. Down here, this is a pulse or continuous welding. Selection button here. Simple as that. Up here we have some lights. If you plug it into 110, the 110 light will be on. It's plugged into 220, and the 220 light is plugged on. And work and fault. I had the work light on before, but I'm not sure what the work and fault. I mean, if there's a fault or something, the manual didn't cover that real well. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Over here we have A is for amps. This is what's being displayed here, right? And then time, the frequency, and percentage. Over here, this is your control status of the remote control switch. So the status here of what's plugged in to the control location. If you put the pedal plugged in, the pedal light will be on. And if you plug in the torch, the button on the torch, the machine light will be on. Down here we have what mode are you going to do. You're going to stick weld or high frequency TIG weld. Selector switch here. Down here you have AC or DC. Right? We're going to be doing DC, AC for like aluminum. This is one of the reasons why I agreed to test this machine, because not all of them out there, all these foreign-made ones, have AC to them. They only are DC. So this one's ACDC. This is so we can test it out on aluminum. This is your mode change selector button and all that. So they have these little flow diagram type of thing for your settings, and they'll change up here, and you move through that by pushing this button. See how the light is changing, going through, and we'll go through that real quick. I'm going to talk about the stick one really fast here. I don't know if I'll get to stick welding, but we're going to do the TIG stuff because that's really what I was really interested in. Most all of these machines do stick. If there's a TIG machine, they all do stick welding pretty much. It's pretty basic. Now, if you put it in stick node, you have an option here. Push the button. You push this selector button, and you'll go to different settings. So you can, what do you want? Hot arc, the amperage, what amperage you want to weld at, and then it's the arc force. That's kind of like the inductance. These two things here. You're setting the dig for stick welding. But anyway, that's what that little part here is, and how you can adjust these different settings for your stick welding. Okay, so we'll switch it back to high frequency TIG. Over here, the saving thing. It says hold 3 seconds to save or open. Okay, so but to get to do any of this stuff, okay, so you have settings in here already, and you want to save it. So you just tap it, it will go save. It says P3, and you have only a few seconds, and you can change it to what program do you want it to be saved as. Okay, we'll save it as program 5. And then hold it for 3 seconds. P5, hold it for 3 seconds, and that will start to blink. Now it's being saved and it's done. To call up a program and use it, or to open it, they call it, tap it again to open it, select the one you want, and then hold it down for 3 seconds. Yeah, open it, hold it down for 3 seconds, and it should blink, and it's being saved. So it called up the amperage of whatever was in there for P0, and you have 0 through 9. So that's how that works. The book really doesn't tell you anything about that. Let's say we're going to set something up here to TIG weld. It doesn't, other than programs you've put in, it doesn't have an IA type of feature like some welders do. You know, smart pre-programs in there that are roughly what you might need, where you select the thickness of the material and maybe, you know, the type of gas and things like that. So you need to set the settings. Yeah. So we're gonna get over here. We just push it on it. A little symbol there says to push it and turn it. We'll go back here. This first setup is pre-flow gas. So, you know, how much gas, for how long do you want it to pre-flow gas? You want a little bit of pre-flow. These are, I'm not sure if those are seconds or what, but that's what they say. So that's 0.3 seconds. You don't need a lot, but you know, however much you want, you try. Now you might have to adjust this. It might not be enough. You know, you'll see. But you want the gas flowing to the nozzle before arc is initiated. Okay. Then you go to start. Okay. So you could set anywhere from like, I don't know, quite a bit. You know, 200 amps. You can have it start blasted if you want right off the beginning, but you know, you could start off at 10 amps and to initiate your arc. You might not. It might not be enough. You might want to be starting a little higher. We're gonna weld some only 60 thousandths material, a mild steel. So we're gonna leave it at 10, and we'll see how well she starts. If it doesn't start, you need to raise that up. Slope up. The time period from here to the peak amps. So from 10 amps to the peak amps, which is like, we can have 78. How much time do you want that to take as it goes up? Let's say we want it to take 3 seconds to slope up, or 2 seconds. Let's say 2 seconds. We want it to slope up in 2 seconds. Peak amps. Well, this is what they've supplied us. So you get 2 5 cups, 2 6 cups, 1 collet body, and you get 3 collets. All the collets are the same size, 2.4 millimeter or 3/32 tungstens. They don't give you any tungsten, but this is all they give you. So this video is not about learning how to TIG weld. This is about the welder. So, but I'm just showing you here that, you know, this is what they give you. So I'm trying to demonstrate with what they give you. I have a 3/32 tri-metal or tri-alloy tungsten, and I think that's what they recommend kind of in their manual, but I recommend these also. The tri-alloys tungstens are far superior arc control and better shape arc. They do. I really like these. I've pretty much gone to just these. So here's your torch, and they give you 2 caps. They give you a long cap for a full length one, and then they give you a little shorty stub cap in here. Now this is what locks down down your collet, right? So we're going to. So you just leave it loose. We take the collet body here, drop it in the back side, just like that. We're going to screw this in. Now I have the welder turned on, so just be careful not to hit the switch or anything. And, there, screwed in. Then we're going to choose a cup. Now I'm going to choose the biggest one we got here, 6. Just make that snug. That way all the gas doesn't leak out. You don't want gas leaking. And then we're going to slip in our tungsten. And we're going to have it about that, not too far out, not that far out. Whoops. Right about there, that'll be good. And then you tighten up your cap, and that's nice and tight. Ready to go. So this is a 17 size torch, and then they even say that on there. And that has to do with the head size and the collets and all that stuff. And how many amps it can do. Usually these are rated to at least 200 amps. Now they put a switch on the handle here. Now this is not a variable switch. I can't like a foot pedal. I can't control the amperage like with a foot pedal does with this switch. It's push it, hold it down to turn on to start welding, and then let go for 2T. 4T, this is the switch also you use. Boom, 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 boom. Start and stop. But it's just like I said, it's only a on-off switch type thing. And over here, the little pin, when I received it right out of the package, this was broken. Little pin. This is a plastic type material, and it was broken off. So I could put a little screw in there and might poke it in there to make that stay. I probably have to do something there. But yeah, that was busted. It still works. I can still hit the start button and stuff. I'll have to find a very tiny screw, but that was broken. I mean, they could have made this a little bit better, maybe with a little metal pin that goes all the way through or something. So we need to set our pecans. We can probably start with like the 78. There would be good. And we can go over here, slope down time. Let go of the switch, it will run down this slope because you've let go, over here, and it's going to run down that slope. So how long do you want it to get down to that minimum setting, basically, again? So we'll say we'll let it go down. Take it down 2 or 3 seconds is good. This can really help you how that end of that weld is created and how it looks. This sort of thing is actually, these are nice features. Burn back. Okay, well, let's leave it back at 10 amps, and you can change that too. We'll just let that do that, and then post flow. This is important. How long do you want it to run afterwards? Now, I'm gonna make this like 5 or 6 seconds. You want the material to come down in temperature with shielding gas so it doesn't oxidize. That's what you're trying to do, is prevent oxidation. So it has to cool down enough to the point where it's not going to oxidize so much, right? And you're keeping that shielding gas on it. So that post flow is important, and you want to make sure you hold your torch there. And but it's all going to vary with material thicknesses, all that sort of stuff, how long that needs to be. Okay, so now we did it. We went through. We did that program, and we'll go here to save. We'll hold down save, P0, and we'll save it. Now we can change the settings, and we can always go back to what we had. I'm just going to run a bead along there with some 1/16 steel S2 rod, and I'm going to use the finger switch to get her started. This is not a flex head torch or anything, and it takes a little bit of getting used to operate that switch. I'm not used to that, but I prefer foot pedal control. But anyway, let's do this. Anyway, not too bad at all. Smooth weld, clean. Now up here, I felt the slope down was too long. 3. So we could probably drop that down to maybe 2 seconds. Yeah, if I say that's probably about fine. Anyway, so that was it there. pre-flow. Let's see, pre-flow. We're going to increase that another little bit. Start at 10, slope up, peak, maybe a little bit hot. Go down to 70, let's say. Slope down is going to be 2. There. Now we'll save it again. There, that was fine. Amperage is better. Post, pre-flow, very nice start, and actually very nice. That came out really nice. That welded very, very nice. That's, you know, that's this last weld right there. That's that last weld right there. That came out very nice. So that's the functions of the control panel. Other than that, that worked out actually very well. Now this is the foot pedal that comes with the machine. It has a maximum, or 10 amps to 200 amps. It has, you set the maximum amperage that you would want to be welding with here. So let's give this a try. We'll just set it about 100. Let's say a middle. We'll just say 100. Goes on the ground, and we plug it in where the torch control was plugged into. Turn it on, and now over here you'll notice the pedal light is on, not machine light, pedal. So pedal is controlling the amperage. All right, we're going to use the foot pedal to control the amperage and welding. And we'll just give it a go. I'm not being used to the foot pedal, but this foot pedal, but they actually worked just fine. First foot pedal go. It was kind of, the weld may not look absolutely perfect, but pretty good. I was kind of playing with it a little bit to see how the foot pedal was responding and stuff, but it did just fine and worked great. All right, we set our peak amps, and we're going to go down here to pulse duty. We're going to say how much do you want it at the peak amps. See this here, pulse duty, the little arrows. So that's a little indicator of what you want to do. So I want that to be like 60%. It's a percentage. So let's say 60%. And then pulse frequency, we're going to say, let's say 1 second, just to make it easy. It's probably not fast enough, but anyway. And then the base amps, it's going to drop down to 50 amps. We could probably make that a little bit lower even. Let's just say 30 amps. There we go. And then our slope down time and our burn back, we'll just leave those the same. Those seem to be pretty good. And 10 seconds or 5 seconds on that. That's probably too long. Let's drop it down to about 4 seconds. Okay. Now, let's say we're going to save it, and we're going to go to 1 and hold it. There, we'll save it at program 1. Now we're using the switch on the torch to control, or not control, to turn it on and off. The machine is controlling everything else. Right up to the point when I touch, but I welded a 1/2 inch there, and that worked actually very good. It took several pulses to get it going, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, so those are the 2 pulse welds I did, and welded actually very nice. That was not a bad setting at all. You know, you're going to use that when you need to, you know, do like almost like a stitch weld. You can do that a little bit. You know, it doesn't matter how long you put between them, or if you're welding something very thin, you can pulse it and control that heat that you're putting in there. But that actually worked quite well, and it's very modifiable. All right, I got a couple coupons of aluminum here. Whoa, I don't know what alloy it is. Or sheet metal. It's an 1/8 of an inch thick, roughly. Let's see here. It's 91,000. So we're going to set this up. We're going to take it off. We'll do continuous weld, 2T, and we're going to go to AC over here at 75 amps. I probably got to be around 90 amps at least. 95 amps. Yeah, we'll set it up there. And now down here now we have AC frequency, you know, and how much you're going to do, you know, for your balance and stuff. So let's just start off at 50. So we have a rough starting point to see how this goes. Cleaning 30. Okay, we'll leave it there, and all the rest the same. Okay, and we're going to save it to 2. There we go. Let's see how it goes. I don't weld aluminum very often, so we'll see how. I haven't done it in a while, so we'll see how this goes. Look at all that practicing. But right here, right there, that said the bead right here, not too shabby, not too bad. No, it's not a pro's work at all, but I don't weld aluminum very often. So anyway, so this bead here, that's not too bad. It's yeah, not for me. That's not too bad. But it took a lot of playing with the settings and stuff, and I kind of like that. I'm going to run another bead just to be sure, but I kind of like that setting. I'm going to save it. I also changed the rod to a bigger rod. It's 4043 aluminum rod. Not too bad. You just gotta let the arc stabilize, and you know, you gotta aluminum. You want to don't get in a hurry, especially in the beginning. You want to stabilize your puddle, and I was just a little bit of a hurry there, but it came out not too bad. Yeah, much better. Getting my timing down a little better as far as speed goes. That other one went a little too slow, and I think it's wicked hot. But anyway, this one here, this last one I just did, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, AC, thumbs up. I have to practice this more, I think. But the machine performed just fine. All right, I set it up for AC pulse. Let's see if we can see what it does there. Now, hopefully I got my timing set good. Not too bad. First time doing that, but the very bottom one here, the lowest one down here, it's a pulse AC. Not too bad. It's all about timing and stuff, but they might have to fine tune that a little bit, but I mean, it's not too bad. It works just fine. The torch here has a nice, it's a rubbery kind of material sleeve on it for the whole length, and it's a long torch actually. So that's my review, basically, of the Bestarc ACDC TIG215P. Actually, it works well. They say it's a beginner kind of machine, but I think it's a little bit more of a intermediate to advanced type of machine myself. If you haven't TIG welded before, it might take you a little bit to learn about the setups and what these mean and how to do that. And it takes practice. It's not a bad machine at all. Actually, it works really well. Now, we had a few little hiccups. The manual is lacking. They said there's a CD. Well, there was no CD in the package for help stuff. Maybe there's something online. I did not look online. And some of the instructions for a few of the things in here is pretty lacking. Now, I must say, they do go over the pulse TIG welding and the AC TIG welding and pulse AC. They do cover that not too bad in here to explain to you how to set, how and what you're doing when you set some of this stuff a little bit. It's not going to tell you how the weld's going to be, though. This is not really something that's going to, this little pamphlet is not going to teach you how to weld. There is some basic welding knowledge stuff in the back of the manual. So, that could, that might help you a little bit, but learning what these things mean on the machine and how to use them, it's going to take some experience or some reading or research for you. Other than that, it did a good job. I wrote down, I made a bunch of notes. The saving feature works well, but lacking in the manual on any explanation how to save something or open and bring that back to use the file. There is 10 registers or programs that you can save. And you can change those and update them as you go through if you change your settings and stuff real easily. Anyway, it's a good feature, and it does work well. All the features worked. Everything worked. I did not stick weld with it. Like I said, I was more interested about the ACDC and the TIG welding part of it. I think this will be, I'm going to probably keep this machine myself, and I'll keep it as my backup machine. That's how I feel about this. It works that well. So I did explain, I hope, the saving and the file thing in the video good enough. One con is it did not come with a gas regulator. It comes with a hose, but it didn't come with a regulator. Lots of machines come with regulators, and I kind of felt regulator should have been included. No CD for the instructions, so maybe you can go online, and I didn't see that, I just said see the CD, but that's okay. You know, like I said, you might have to do some research. I don't think it's a beginner machine, because you'll struggle, and if you struggle with something, you won't do it. It takes persistence sometimes to accomplish a goal. So if you really want to learn to TIG weld, which I do encourage people to do, it is the highest form of control for welding that most people can afford to do and things. So it's pretty awesome. You can weld all sorts of good things and have such really good control of it. The gas fitting thing, the gas fitting in the front connection was just maybe 2 turns on, but it was really, really loose. It wasn't even thumb tight. So I had to tighten that, and that's where I was losing all my gas when I was first testing the machine and practicing a bit with it. The back jam nut was a little loose, so I tightened that up on the other end of the gas fitting where the hose connects. These are minor things in a way, but you know, why should you have to take apart the machine? So I just want to bring them up. And then the broken tab on the TIG torch, on the little tab, now there could have been a better product there or something. It works, but I'll have to take it apart, and I have the ability to fix that, and I will. But I felt that could have been a better piece, just the little plastic there. And that's about it. I mean, like I said, it's a good machine. It works. The controls are pretty much simple controls. It all works away, pushing a button and turning it off to set the settings. I mean, once you get an understanding of it, it does go easy. It's easy to use as far as that goes. Round cable. And it's not little wimpy cable either. So, I mean, it's a nice, flexible, soft ground cable. The torch lead is a little on the heavy side. I think the hose they use is a heavy hose, it looks like. And it does feel a little on the heavy side, but it's fine. It works. Foot pedal. It's a sheet metal deal, but it works. It has the maximum setting thing on here. That's too bad it's not on the machine, but it works. It works. Like I said, this is not your $2,000 machine. Not too many really cons are little things, but they're little. They are things. I just thought I'd bring it up. So I don't get paid to do these things. They give you a machine, but sometimes is it worth it or not worth it? I don't know. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion about it, and that's it. And so check them out on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description, and you guys can look at them and check them out. And thank you guys for watching.